Timo Dreger. Nice warm welcome for men who made it. No, I'm sorry.
Thank you, guys.
That's not the way you show appreciation for the people who almost spent 2 days on the road to get here. Come on.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Timo Dreger.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, the trip was a bit of a nightmare, but I was last year here, and this conference I really like it, to come to Poland. I'm from Berlin. I know the region a bit, and of course I'm coming and tell you guys today a little bit about FinTech and InsurTech trends. First of all, who is this guy who's on stage? I'm Timo. I'm 33 years old. I worked for a bank in London. I worked for an insurance company as a head of digital. And of course, I'm right now with Apeiron, and we invest into startups between 1 to 3 million. And if you're tutoring right now, please use my name InsurTech Forum. There are 14,000 followers, and I will tweet it. But let's jump in. First of all, when we talk about FinTech and InsurTech stuff, it's all about this whole digitalization wave was hitting us. People using mobile phones, Google is out there, Amazon is out there. Like I said, if you talk about trends in the industry, you have to keep that in mind, that everything becomes digital. Everything is going on the smartphone as an app. Everything is going online. And this trend of digitalization is also hitting as this old-fashioned banking and insurance industry. But when you talk about innovation in this industry, people talking about these banks, people talking about startups, but what most people miss is that we have a third player in this field. These are the tech companies. There's Google Pay out there, Apple Pay. This whole war or this whole battle for the future are fighting these 3 players. Like I said, first of all, the insurance and the banks, what they have the client relations. Secondly, the tech companies, they have the data. And third, the startups, they have the speed and the agility to solve problems. Keep that in mind when people talk about innovation in industries. These 3 players are most of the time on the table. And when you also look, I said banks and insurances, they own the clients. And when startups coming around, they're saying, hey, I have a new idea, and for us it's easy to get clients. That's a lie. Because when you ask around who's happy with a bank account, probably no one will say yes, or with an insurance company. No one will say yes. But when you ask the same person who's not happy with a product, did you change? Most people say no. Why? Because it's so convenient. You have in your bank account, you have all your things. It's a big hassle to change, or with the insurance company. And this behavior, what we do, I'm also working in this field. I'm also not happy with my bank, but it's too much hassle to change. And this behavior from us, from clients, from consumers, this behavior protects this old-fashioned industry in terms of, they're not moving to a startup with a new idea. Especially when it's about money, they stay with these old-fashioned banks most of the time. But it's changing, because young people coming up, and younger people, they change easier because they don't have this whole things in one account. But this dilemma is a big issue in the industry. And when we talk about what are the trends and what's going on right now, 3 main things, what I said happened. Digitalization, people are getting older, and interest rates and regulations are hitting the market. More or less, but like Mattel said, the whole market is under pressure. If you come to, I talk a little bit badly about startups, but it's also the reason that's why we are here, because people coming up with new ideas and want to change the world in a way. And when you look at the numbers, how much money these guys raised, startups out there, 20 in the fintech space, and in the fintech space, InsurTech is part of this whole of this whole market because it's just a sub vertical. But last year they raised 27 billion US dollar. That's massive. And with this money, of course, they attack the banks and insurance companies. But that's a lot of money in the market. And now I'm coming a little bit what's good on startups. When you look at how banks and insurance act, banks and insurance coming from the product side, they have a very strong back end. They focus on processes, but they're not good in the front end. They're changing right now a bit. Right now, most of banks and insurance, they look more on processes, that everything is going more digital, and it's changing a bit. They're also a little bit better in the front end side. They have apps, but they're not good as startups. Startups coming from a pain point. They're coming to solve a problem. And you see on the left-hand side how the value chain look like. Very strong, user-friendly front end. Processes are most of the time digital, but the back end, they're not good. But when you combine both things, let's say both worlds, you see it would be a perfect fit. When we talk about startups, I showed you the number of 25 billion US dollar in the market. Here, a couple of companies, most of them are German, who are active in different fields. And when we talk about FinTech, like I said, insurance is part of it, but this whole space is massive. You have lending, you have savings. It's a big field, and in every vertical you have smart kids, smart guys who say, "Come, we want to do something better," and they really focus on one issue. They're not saying we do everything from bank account to, let's say, lending. We focus on one thing and want to become a leader in one part. But now we'll switch a little bit into the InsurTech space and want to share with you what's happening now. When you look at the whole InsurTech industry, back in the days, like I said, startups focused on digital insurance manager, apps where you can put your policies in. It was more or less a first wave. The second wave right now we have is, okay, let's disrupt the industry, or let's try to disrupt the industry. Let's set up digital insurers. That's a huge wave. The first one, it's like, yeah, like I said, build an app and attract customers. Right now, what they want to do is they try to create a whole new product and a new player. But if in terms of fundraising, you see that for the first couple of ideas, you need some money, but for the second idea, build a digital regulated insurer, you need a lot of money. And that's right now where these guys facing. And what's next in this specific vertical? In my point of view, I showed you this picture. The picture before is, I'm pretty sure that we see more and more cooperations between startups and banks, because, like I said, banks and insurance, they have the customers, and startups, they have the user experience. We see totally new type of products that are coming out of this digital insurers, totally new products, flexible, consumer friendly, and the Asian market will come to Europe. They're very agile and very mobile driven. In this vertical, that's a little bit my outlook what's coming up. Let's jump a little bit, because I said, it's really tough for startups to survive in this field. And what's happening is, from all startups who are out there, 90% of all startups will die. They will die because there's no of profitability. They don't make money, or mergers or acquisitions. Also, from all of these guys who are here, only one guy will survive, let's say, in 5 to 10 years. And this one guy, this one company, but they have the potential to change something. Yeah, please keep that in mind when people say, yeah, everything will change, everything become digital. Yes, it will. But of all of these good ideas, most ideas will die, like I said, for 3 reasons. For the InsurTech and FinTech ecosystem, what are the challenges right now? We're not talking about Uber or Airbnb where you can sign up a website and talk to customers. In this specific industries, you have to challenge about regulations. It's not, like I said, you cannot build a product. You have to have an eye on the regulation side. Next big challenge is, especially for startups, is very high customer acquisition costs. It will never go away in this industry. And what we also see right now is, because FinTech, it's not the buzzword anymore like a couple of years ago. The industry is a little bit older when you look at the whole startup world. And right now we see consolidation. A lot of ideas, they merged, especially in Germany. We see this wave in the UK too, in the US. And we see that the startups consolidate right now because it makes no sense to have in one specific vertical 5 ideas with the same product. They merge right now, and then we see a stronger startup. And also, what I see now is that the whole Brexit situation will change the European market, because fintechs are thinking about, okay, is it good to go to the UK? Then maybe I need a office in Europe. That's why right now Germany and other countries, they have the chance to become a major player in Europe, because there's a lot of uncertainty with the UK market. Okay, one of my last slides is what are my personal trends. Yeah? I'm sure you guys heard this whole thing about blockchain ICOs and cryptocurrencies. I want to talk about this because it's I don't know what's going on. But one word is, for me, is very essential. It's blockchain. I'm pretty sure that we will see in the near future smart contracts that we can easily, especially in the insurance and in the bank field, that things getting easier and easier. But I'm not seeing that we see a fully new currency like what people end of last year said, okay, Bitcoin is the next big thing. I'm skeptical. Maybe we will see it, but the blockchain thing and smart contract thing is, in my point of view, the use cases which we see was really, really value for all of us. The next thing is chatbot and AI. This feels, I'm looking up to business models. There's a lot of things coming up, but here it's like more from Facebook, Amazon, and Google that they will drive chatbots. We saw this presentation from Google about this chatbot. You make calls for you to make an appointment. But this field is for me, very, very, one of my favorite fields. The third one is what I said a little bit before. We see more and more fully digital player in the banks and the insurance space. In Germany, we have a big one, number 26, raised, I don't know, over 100 million a couple of weeks ago. And number 4 is a topic not a lot of people talk about, but I see a lot of potential. It's about the unbanked people, especially in Africa or in other countries where you don't have like here in Poland, like in Germany, you have a good, let's say, a solid financial system. And when you look at Africa, everything is mobile-based. They don't have a bank account. They don't have an insurance. They pay with a phone. Also in Asia. When you look at these markets, we will definitely see a lot of interesting business models. And last but not least, I don't know what's coming up. The last point is more like, let's see, because so many people, intelligent people with good education, they have ideas, and I'm pretty sure that we see totally new things. Maybe next year when I'm hopefully coming again. But nobody knows. I'm not, I don't know, a preacher who can say what's coming, but that's also a field I'm very interested in. Okay, a little bit my question is the FinTech and InsurTech hype over? I don't know. For me, it's like the blockchain thing was the dominant part or hype the last couple of months, in my point of view. Like I said, this whole industry is right now older. We see consolidation. in my point of view, the new hype when you look at verticals, start verticals, is not about fintech and insurtech anymore. The hype moved a bit. It moved to the AI and to other stuff. But we will definitely see that business model will change and that the whole industry becoming bigger and bigger. Yeah, that was it. If you guys have questions, you can ask now. I don't know if you have time left. You can add me on LinkedIn. You can add me on Facebook. You can Twitter me. Most of the time I respond directly. If not, I will answer a little bit later. But yeah, if you have questions, I'm around. Please ask. Thank you.